everyone, it's Crystal Marie Higgins. So nice to be with you. So in today's class, I'm actually going to teach you some of my most favorite restorative yoga positions. So we're actually just going to do 3 restorative positions that you're welcome to do at the end of your day, at any time of the day really, but when you feel like you need a reset, a refresh of the mind, body, and heart. And these poses, you can do them, of course, separately from each other. If you've just got time for one, I'll sequence the class in a way where the one that I think that is the most pertinent and the most sort of potent, we'll begin with it, and then we'll proceed from there. So this class is an all levels class, of course, especially, if you're feeling really taxed with the way things are going right now in the world, if your system feels like it needs a reset, if you're overloaded with media, which we all are these days, this class is for you. So what you're going to need prep-wise, I want you to grab, now I'm grabbing a combination of things around my house. I'm grabbing a little pillow here for my couch, as well as a blanket. If you've got a yoga blanket, great. Any other blanket will do. And then I'm sitting on a bolster. So I just want you to have 3 cushions of some kind, one if possible that has a little bit more elevation to it. And when you're ready, go ahead and sit on the prop that has a bit more elevation and let your hands rest on your legs, and go ahead and either close your eyes or bring your eyes in a slightly downward angle, and the eyes just begin to relax. And what I want for these first few minutes today is for you to just take a few breaths in and out, and just connecting really simply here with our breathing. Feel a slow, steady inhale through the nose, and a gentle release either through the mouth or through the nose. And just continue with this simple breath practice, inhaling and exhaling. Continue at your pace. And begin to just let the world around you dissolve. Let go of your day if you're practicing at the end of the day. If you're practicing at another time of day, just begin to invite that softening. So in the practice of restorative yoga and the slower styles of yoga in particular, meditation as well, we almost begin to drop into a very sort of, not lucid, but a very sort of relaxed, receptive state of being. And I invite you to just soften here a little bit more. So your posture, your head is on top of the chest and heart. The chest and heart on top of the pelvis. So the back is in its natural curves. But let go of rigidity with your posture. Allow the shoulders that permission to release and soften. And give your mind permission right now to also release and soften. And just begin to feel that anchoring down below you, that rootedness connecting down into the earth. Remembering that every time we practice, we're connecting actually with all of those who have practiced before us, whether consciously, intentionally, or not. All of those who have been on this path, all of the great teachers and students of the practice. We begin to almost connect in with this like stream or river of awareness and awakening. Remembering that our awakening happens in so many layers, in so many ways, through the mind, the emotions, the body, through our actions, through our words, through our thoughts. This practice for you might be an inward practice, one in which you sort of hold the fruit, we'll call it, the fruit of your practice close. Or maybe you share the fruits of your practice out, and either way is okay. So just invite all parts of yourself present right now. Feeling that anchoring down below you into the earth, wherever you are practicing right now, connecting even with the land that you are on here. A common practice that's gaining more momentum gratefully in the world is to acknowledge the land and the original inhabitants, those indigenous people who tended to this land that you're on right now. Whether you know the names or not, just calling in that remembrance here, that too is a part of our practice. And begin to feel a connection now up through the crown of your head towards the sky above you. Remain anchored and rooted here in this present moment and connected upwards to that remembrance above. Whatever that is for you, could be nature, the stars, the sky, or something else. And take just 3 more breaths, just finding that rhythm and flow of your breath, breathing consciously in and out, taking as full and gracious of a breath as you can in both directions. And at your next inhale, I want you to slowly circle your arms all the way around you, tracing a nice big circle. Palms of the hands touch, and exhale, hands into the chest and heart. Do 2 more just like that. So we just continue to call ourselves present, focused here, but also relaxed in the practice. And when you're ready, hands rest on the legs. Go ahead and open your eyes. So let's actually start with just a few very gentle stretches before we come into the restorative practice. I want you to come to all fours. Now, if where you're practicing isn't cushy, meaning that you're not on a mat that's cushy or a surface like I am that's cushy, I want you to get a little blanket or support underneath your knees. And we'll just begin in cow and cat and keep it, very simple that way. On your inhale, let your belly drop, lift your chest and lift your gaze. And as you exhale, draw the belly in and let the head drop. And just feel that rounding. And move back and forth. Go ahead and do 5 rounds. You want to make sure that you're just very, very gently grounding down through your hands, as well as through the tops of your feet. This style of practice is also really great if you've been struggling with sleep lately, right? It actually brings in some of those benefits that we get in that deeply restful REM sleep when we allow ourselves to be in prolonged restful poses, whether in restorative yoga or a practice called yoga nidra, yogic sleep. So after that last cat pose, go ahead and come back to table. And from here, so we're gonna do cow and cat, but with some hip circling. Similar to how we did the regular sort of cow and cat, you're gonna let your belly drop, lift your chest and lift your gaze. Then as you come into cat pose, you're going to swing your hips from right to left. Continue the swing of the hips, and almost like you're drawing circles. Just go back and forth. You don't have to be perfect with it. So the hips are going in a clockwise direction here. And then you're in cat pose and cow pose. And then make your way slowly back to center and just reverse. And now go from right to left. Dropping the head and then swinging the hips back, lifting the chest. And continue like this. Begin to just feel into the rhythm of your body. You'll start to feel what's a right rhythm, right? What's a right pace for you, both with the movement and your breath. And come back to neutral table. So we're just going to do one little shoulder stretch today. I want you to keep your legs exactly how they are, hips over knees, then bring your hands forward. Now you're going to bring your forehead to the ground. If your forehead cannot touch the earth with ease, you can take your blanket or pillow as a little cushion and bring it here, supporting the head. If you can, keep your elbows lifted off of the ground. And the shoulders draw down away from the earth. Take 5 more breaths. And slowly inhale. Just gently come up and come onto your belly. Extend your legs back and bring your hands near your ribs. Now we're going to stay very low and do what's called the drunken little cobra. So you're just going to begin to sway from side to side. Here you press down through your hands and you just start to feel almost kind of an intoxication of the spine. So you're just swaying gently from right to left. Shoulders are relaxed. The lift is very small. Go ahead and close your eyes and do just a few more sways from side to side. And make your way back to center and find a child's pose. Just for a few breaths. Hips towards the heels. Again, head on the ground or to a blanket. Now arms can relax on the earth. Allow a softening at your mid-upper back in particular. Let's slowly come back on up and we'll find our first restorative pose today. So what I'm going to have us begin with is legs, and I didn't say this at the beginning, apologies about that. So we're going to actually swing our legs up, either a couch, a chair, or a wall. So if you need to kind of readjust where you are, go ahead, you can pause the recording and do that now. And I'm going to have you grab either a blanket or your pillow, and you want to bring that blanket or pillow a few feet away from whatever it is that you're going to rest your legs on, whether a wall, couch, or chair. Go ahead and come onto your hip and bring your forearm down. And then let your head come down onto this blanket or pillow and swing your legs up. It should feel very relaxing. This is one of the best poses really for letting go of compression, especially if you've been doing a lot of sitting or even if you've been doing a lot of walking or standing. This is a mild inversion. And bring your arms by the sides, palms facing up, almost like we do in final rest. You just want to bring your arms not close to the body, but a little bit away from the body. And go ahead and let your eyes close. Do note that if you're on your cycle, for women who are practicing here, it's preferred that you not elevate your legs in that case. So if you're on your cycle when you're practicing right now, just go ahead and bring some sort of cushion or pillow under your knees, or simply do legs up, but not quite as high if you would like to get a little elevation. So don't do legs straight up a wall. That's the big one to avoid. Other forms of mild elevation are okay. And just begin to, from here, feel that descent, that downward pull. Let both legs grow heavy and relaxed. Let all 10 toes begin to soften. And just begin to connect again with the rhythm of your breath. You can relax at that spot right between your eyebrows. And just invite that softening to happen in your whole body. For those of you who take baths or like to immerse yourself in water, thinking of that feeling that overcomes your senses and your body when you step into a pool or a tub of perfectly warm water. We want to imagine and bring in that feeling right now. And just begin to feel your hips grow heavy and relaxed. Feel the arms begin to grow heavier and more relaxed. And then begin to bring your awareness up to the inner thighs. Feeling that part of the body on the right and left leg also begin to grow heavier and relaxed. So here we begin to invite in the transition, the bigger transition into the restful, restorative practice. In today's practice, I'm actually just going to provide a few instructions in each pose. And then I'm going to grow more quiet with the instruction for you to just simply allow yourself to be deeply held, relaxing heavier and heavier with each breath out. So don't fight with yourself. You notice your attention in a planning mode or elsewhere. Just bring yourself back to that remembrance of softening. And here we begin to cross the threshold and walk through the gate. Surrendering into practice. I'm just taking another minute in this pose, really allowing yourself to soak up the benefits, growing heavy, growing relaxed. And just make it very slow transition. Flickering your eyes open. And you can even kind of touch your fingertips. Move the toes a little. Now you're welcome to stay in this pose anywhere from a few minutes to up to 20 minutes. But in this practice, let's go ahead and just slowly bring our knees in and very gently roll to one side and press on up. So it's important to be just very restful when you transition and not too fast. What we're going to do next is come into a nice twist. And we'll just do this one a few minutes each side, not as long. So I'm going to show it. Some of you have done this with me before in classes. I'm going to show it with a bolster, and then I'll show the version with blankets and pillows if you don't have a bolster. Also, if you've got like 2 pillows from your bed that are long pillows, that could be a great alternative to a bolster. Or if you've got a couch cushion, it actually kind of works as a great bolster. So what you want to do is kind of sit like I am with both knees bent and your thigh of your closest leg to the bolster is touching. Then your top leg, that shin, is resting in the arch of the bottom foot. Then you'll bring your hands to frame the bolster so you're starting to face toward it and slowly lay the body down, bring the arms down and the head rests. So that's if you have a bolster. If you don't have a bolster and you're working with, let's say a few pillows, I'll just grab one from my couch. Say you're working with today a few pillows and maybe a blanket. What you want to do is stack a couple of pillows, and then if you've got either your third pillow or blanket, I want you to roll the blanket, replace that third pillow in front. And it's a very similar setup here. So your thigh is touching, then your top leg rests in the shin of the bottom leg. Same kind of setup where you frame and then you come down. This time though, you'll bring one arm on top of the other and let the head rest like such. So go ahead and find that shape, everyone. Taking a few breaths, letting the belly relax, jaw relax. I want you to pay particular attention to softening any clenching of the jaw and allow the hips to grow heavy. Notice if you're gripping the arms or the upper body, the shoulders. Let that begin to soften. Just another 10 breaths here on this first side. There's no rush, but when you feel ready, go ahead and bring your hands down and slowly inhale and press up. Now to switch sides, it's just a simple flip around where you take your other thigh right up against it, the props. You can't quite see, but my top shin, same thing, is resting in the arch of my bottom foot. And I frame my props and then I come down. And I bring either my arms on either side or one arm on top of the other with my head down. And it will take just a few minutes here. Notice what's going on this side. Seeing if you need more support with your breath, more softening, or even if you need to fidget a little, that's okay. Make sure to let those shoulders relax and arms grow heavy. Just another 10 breaths here. No rush, but when you're ready, inhale, bring the hands down, and slowly press up. Now you're going to bring your back body just up against your props. Bring your feet wide, knees bent, and we'll do just a few cat-cow stretches, just moving back and forth a few times. Sort of opening of the chest, and the rounding of the back. And last, but certainly not least, let's go ahead and come to our final position today. So I'm going to have us end a few minutes in full rest. Shavasana Deluxe is what I call this. So you're going to take, if you've got a blanket like I do, and you haven't already brought it into like a roll like I just did, like a burrito roll, right? I want you to bring your blanket down in that type of roll. Then, and that's going to be where your legs are, your feet are, excuse me. Then you're going to bring your bolster or whatever is your highest prop. Could be a pillow, couch cushion for the knees, and a pillow for the blanket. This is really like my favorite way to do final rest, other than that legs at the wall that we started with. So you're going to bring your knees to be supported by the bolster or blanket or pillow, then your ankles to be supported by whatever cushion you got there. And go ahead and come all the way down with your head supported by a pillow. Make sure, of course, that you're warm enough. You can bring your arms by your sides with palms face up, or if you prefer to end, you can bring your hands to rest on the body, maybe one hand at the belly and one hand at the heart. This pose, you're happy, I would really be happy if you did this pose as often as you felt you needed it, but you could do it anywhere from a few minutes to up to 30, 45 minutes. And just begin to scan through your whole body, relaxing the whole body. Similar to the visual at the start of class, like we're immersing ourselves into a warm pool or a tub, and you're allowing the whole body to be immersed here, so you're really just floating graciously on the surface without any effort at all. Invite your whole system to release completely into the void, into spaciousness. Just another minute here to completely surrender. very, very slowly just begin to bring that awareness back in. Slowly beginning to feel breath at your fingers and your toes. Move them a little. And gently opening your eyes, taking a few flickers, orienting yourself back in your space. And we'll just draw our knees in and roll to one side. Slowly press up and find a seat. Just sit on something, whatever you were sitting on at the beginning of class. Palms face up, point your finger and thumb touch. Just acknowledging your efforts, all the benefits, acknowledging each other too, even though we're not practicing live, feeling the connection in with everyone who will practice this. May we remember to practice and live our lives in a way that serves the highest and deepest good with harm to none. Bring your hands to touch your heart, bow the head down in, calling our awareness inward and outward towards those we know and hold dear, those whom we don't know, those who look and act like us and those who don't. May we all know joy, ease, justice, and peace. May we all be free of suffering and harm and pain in this lifetime. And may we all know freedom and liberation itself. Slowly go ahead and inhale, lift your chin, and open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. I hope you feel better. Until next time, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.